Ancient samurai legend, Miyamoto Musashi used elements of nature to describe parts of an individual's strength when mastering the sword. Each element in his book, the Book of Five Rings, reflects a different style of skill, as do each the realm of Animus. Within the vast lands of my world, 7 elements define the properties and classifications of magic, which is practiced as a science employing the metaphysical, rituals of the divine, and material properties to perform miraculous feats. But what happens when a magic system breaks the conventional norms intended in nature? This notion is, for most people, a matter of imagination within Animus, as the laws of magic have been balanced across the 7 natural elements since the beginning of time. And yet, what if something uncanny challenged this established law directly? Something so quiet it was barely recognizable, yet so powerful that its implications were earth-shattering. Welcome to Animus. This video marks my world-building project's latest lore release since reaching over 2,000 subscribers, and the last of 2024. Honoring this milestone, today's episode is special, marking a new chapter in my project's content and for the new year. In my last video, I introduced 2 of the 8 elementals, creatures that exist halfway between the material and spiritual realm that protect the planet's strongest sources of elemental magic, known as elemental cores. Today we explore a new source of elemental magic, one that's anomalous and an enigma, like the elemental titan that protects it. This is the mysterious magical art called Digitas. In my world, a life form must undergo several requirement checks before being eligible to manipulate magic and its arts. Those include biological compatibility to communicate with divine systems of power, specifically the Seed of Logos, a repository of potential magic energy and spells, biological resilience to consuming energy during magical activity, spiritual connection to divine systems of power, along with intelligence or instinct to conjure pre-existing or novel spells within the world. Monsters, spirits, and fauna of the realms are often able to fulfill these requirements through instinct and nature, whereas requirements for human species are more complexly divided. Simply put, Cast and Novo, my world's equivalent to mages and druids, can effectively fulfill these roles, while humans from the tribe of men cannot. Another rule of thumb is that Cast and Nova can learn spells under a maximum of 2 to 3 elemental magic classes, like a combination of lightning and fire magic, or earth, wind, and water magic, and so on and so forth, but no more than each. This limitation is shared among all life forms, which each observe the same rules of balance and energy consumption when using magic. However, unlike other magic typings, Digitas magic can theoretically ignore some of these rules. In doing so, it can simultaneously expand a user's learning pool to many more magic arts that far exceed the cap of 2 to 3 elemental types. That same user's learning pool can grow at a significantly more gifted rate than others, shaving off years of practice required to master spells to only hours, minutes, or even seconds. It should be noted, however, that despite this incredible ability, generally, one's spell potency is less powerful than a specialist's abilities when comparing the same spell to another. This, in some ways, makes the user a master of none, but a wielder of many, ultimately proving to be a potential strength instead of a weakness if handled correctly. Today, Digitas magic remains highly misunderstood, and likely the most elusive phenomenon within the vastness of Animus. Its properties have rarely been documented and only described as conjecture or myth from mostly word-of-mouth accounts. More is left to be discovered to truly understand the unique behavior of the magic art. Like all elemental magic arts, Digitas exists protected by its respective elemental guardian. Deep within a realm that eludes the physical world is a cave system, illuminated by the glow of ethereal orbs of light. Its walls are painted with mosses and thin, delicate shrubs that reach towards a ceiling, seemingly with no end in sight. Despite the awe you feel, something about this place truly shouldn't exist the way how it does. The uncanny nature of the environment has you unsure if you're dreaming or if you're awake. As an adventurer, you enter a place devoid of sounds, just those of the echoes from your footsteps as you step across the flat, stony floor. Your presence, however, is not unnoticed. Here, we introduce Fars al-Nabi, the elusive master of this domain and the elemental of Digitas. Fars al-Nabi is commonly known by Fars al-Nabi the Innovation, among other names, is an elemental with mysterious origins. Little is known about this entity, as it was undiscovered until very recently. As the protector of Digitas magic, and thereby the Digitas core, it's believed to be very wise and intelligent, capable of learning information at a fast rate, much like its magic enables its users. Fars el-Nabi stands at 14-foot height, possessing a tall and lumbering stature. Its silhouette is humanoid, with insectoid features from the profile on its face, its carapace, and segmented arms, each wielding giant swords and a massive glaive. Unlike common elementals, Fars el-Nabi is what's known as a chimera, a special type of elemental that shares a symbiotic relationship with a human known as an heir. For those who have watched my last video where I described my elementals of water and fire magic, you'll be familiar with heirs. For those who haven't, stay tuned to learn more about them, along with who and what the Heir of Digitas actually is. The design of Fars el-Nabi was the very first of my concepts created of the elementals, dating as far back as the mid-2000s, simply being named at the time, Chimera. Fars el-Nabi's features were based on a combination of different themes from feudal Japanese culture and the insect world, such as beetles and mantises. This can be observed in the design of its head, featuring a triangular shape and bulbous eyes. The observant behaviors of a praying mantis felt appropriate to complement the stoic nature of Digitas magic. Further alluding to the mantis-esque nature of this entity is its name. Fars el-Nabi is a modification on the Arabic word for praying mantis, Faras al-Nabi, meaning horse of the prophet in raw translation. The subtle Islamic cues of the name intentionally further elude a sense of prophetic importance, which this elemental is believed to signal, according to some within my world. Fars el-Nabi incorporates mechanical themes into its design as well, observed in its folding wings and its halo configuration. These cues signify the elemental's relationship to innovation and computational learning through a technological perspective. I wanted this elemental's design to embody grace and power in a way that could be both elegant or intimidating. This is exactly what the Heir of Digitas felt upon first encounter with this creature, unsure of whether or not this was friend or foe. Before I introduce the Heir of Digitas, I'd like to invite you to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content. By doing so, you can follow along for more of my adventures I'm making into my book, Kenix Volume 1, the first episode to my fantasy novel series of my world-building project. Back to our episode. I mentioned earlier that heirs are people who have a special symbiotic relationship with elementals, sharing responsibilities for protecting their elemental core, a metaphysical object producing one of the world's strongest sources of magic. In exchange, heirs receive part of their powers, respective to their element. Throughout history, heirs have been determined by methods not fully defined by an exact science. Despite the mysteries of the process, it's understood that heirs are determined under the divine system of power responsible for fate known as the Seed of Pathos. Understanding the occurrence of when new heirs will appear and where is believed to happen around once every 2 to 3 centuries, and from individuals who descended from family lineages connected to ancient legends that have influenced mankind. In this case, the Heir of Digitas stands in stark opposition to this rule, possessing no known family lineage to speak of, as he's an orphan. The Heir of Digitas, unlike other heirs, represents a brand new line of history, breaking the mold in almost every way. As unusual as his Digitas magic is to existence, it belongs to an equally unusual species of human. You may recall that magic can only be wielded by castes and novo in my world. The Heir of Digitas, for reasons unknown, is the only heir in existence hailing from the tribe of men. Within a sleepy town in the industrial continent of Gran Naciones lives a boy of unassuming importance. At age 16, this is the Heir of Digitas, and the main character of my story, Omari Kenix. Kenix lives in Novella Ventus Village, where he attends school at Novella Arts with his 2 childhood friends. Today, he's struggling to find lunch money after going over his budget to buy parts to his new hover gear he's building. Outside of school, he's an aspiring hover gear racer and amateur inventor. He enjoys spending his spare time tinkering with machines and training in the local Dokendo studio for his fencing practice. Kenix has dreams of leaving his village to see the world and have new adventures, a dream he hopes to make a reality one day. My work in progress book, Kenix Volume 1, is named after my titular main character, and throws you into a fantasy adventure alongside many others, where you discover the mystery behind Digitas magic and the forces at work in the shadows they'll face. More will be revealed in the pages of Volume 1 once it becomes available, along with my exclusive art book I'm making, called the Art of Kenix. You can support the release of my adventure when you back my Patreon and follow my channel. To sell my art book's official merchandise on the channel, I'll need to fulfill 1,000 more watch hours to do so, and today we're at nearly 2,000 thanks to your interest and support. If you've enjoyed this content and want more, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment on this video to share your thoughts. For now, that's all for today's video, and here's a special thank you for the following supporters on Patreon. And until next time, cheers.